Are you thinking about downsizing for retirement here in Florida? Before you trade the dream house for something smaller, ask yourself this question. Are you doing it because it's right for you or because someone else said that you should do it? Today, I'm breaking down the truth behind downsizing in Florida, when it makes sense, when it doesn't, and the 6 costly mistakes I see retirees make over and over again. From budget traps to emotional roadblocks, this is everything you need to know before you make that move. So before you call the movers, let's start with one of the biggest myths that we hear about every week. But before that, if you're new to the channel, you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas, you have come to the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. I'm a local real estate expert, and I'm here to share everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas like Port Orange, Edgewater, Ponce Inlet, Ormond Beach, and Daytona Beach. Let's start with one of the biggest myths I hear every week, which is mistake number 1, assuming everyone needs to downsize. There's this idea that hitting retirement age should automatically mean that you move into a smaller home, but that's so much farther from the truth. I have some clients, Ray and Marlene White, that moved from a 2,200 square foot home to a 5,600 square foot home on the water. And they couldn't be more happy. They have family coming in all the time. People feel welcome there. They're staying at their houses for long periods of time. And Ray and Marlene couldn't be happier. They got a huge 2-acre property on the water. So downsizing isn't necessarily for everyone. Did you know over 80% of people 55 and older don't live in 55 plus communities? A lot of folks already lived in small houses their entire life. They don't need anything different now. Some have worked hard for decades, dreaming of more space, maybe room for visiting kids and grandkids, or space for hobbies, gardening, and even a home gym. For some, downsizing feels freeing. They get rid of all the junk that they never use. For others, it feels like giving something that they've earned. The mistake is downsizing because you think you're supposed to, not because it fits your goals. I think of it like this. We take cruises, and we take cruises with a lot of other people because the cruising is easy here in Florida. You just go 45 minutes to Cape Canaveral, or you go a couple hours down to Fort Lauderdale or Miami. You don't have all those expenses like flying and hotel accommodations the day before or the day after. But I hear people all the time, rich people. I go cruising with rich people sometimes. I hear people say, you know what, it doesn't matter. We're just going to get an inside room because we're going to be spending most of our time outside. That is how Florida is. That is how New Smyrna Beach is. I feel like you don't need this huge place because most of the time you're going to be spending, it's going to be outside. It's going to be fishing. It's going to be golfing. It's going to be playing pickleball. It's going to be playing tennis. All these things, all these outdoor activities that retirees come down here to do. And you don't need this big, luxurious owner suite in the cruise ship. Maybe you do. My clients Ray and Marlene need that, but maybe you don't. Maybe you need just that small inside room because most of the time you're going to be spending is outside. So again, the mistake is that downsizing because you think you're supposed to, not because it fits your goals. So before you go smaller, ask yourself this question: what does my next 10 years feel like? Not what does it look like? So that brings us into mistake number 2, which is downsizing your budget without having a plan. This one's a big one. People think downsizing automatically saves money. Not always. You might move into a smaller home, but your HOA or condo fee can eat up that difference very, very quickly, especially if you don't pick the right place. For example, a condo near the beach might sound perfect, low maintenance, close to everything, until you realize that the HOA is $800 a month. Meanwhile, a single-family home in Venetian Bay or Sugar Mill Country Club might have a $200 fee, and you control your own insurance, utility, and repairs. True downsizing isn't just about space, it's about reducing responsibilities and surprises. If your goal is to lower stress and predictable cost, you need to look at the full picture. You need to look at the HOA, you need to look at insurance, you need to look at flood zones, you need to look at maintenance, repairs, age of equipment like water heater, roof, and HVAC system. These are all things that are really important to consider before you're upsizing or downsizing. When you add it all up, the best budget downsizing happens when you simplify your life, not just your square footage. Which brings us into mistake number 3, which is underestimating the emotional side of letting go. All right, so this one hits home for almost everybody. We have all this stuff. We have these memories, these furnitures, these family heirlooms. And even when you know that you don't need it all, you still feel like you're losing part of the story when you give it up. So make sure you have the space for that.
I watch clients start decluttering years before they move. And honestly, it's the smart thing to do. Because here's the truth, your kids probably don't want your furniture or your china set or your silverware. Maybe they do, but they probably don't. They want you, your time, your health, and your presence. Plus, if your kids are staying up north or in California or in Canada or something like that, they want you here. They want you here so they can come here also and have vacations and spend that time with you. When Rachel and I downsized from our 3,600 square foot home in Dallas, Texas, and we moved here to New Smyrna, back here to New Smyrna Beach because we lived here prior. We moved into a 1,600 square foot home, and we had to fill up the largest U-Haul truck that you can find and haul it all down here. And then we got here and we ended up buying a place that was fully furnished. And so we got 2 pods and put it out in the driveway for a while. And a lot of the stuff that we donated and a lot of stuff we had, a lot of stuff that we sold. We put it on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. But I can understand the downsizing. And you know what? I don't miss any one of that missing square footage. The 2,000 square foot that we missed from 3,600 down to 1,600 square foot. I don't miss any of it at all. In fact, there were rooms that we weren't even using in Dallas because we only have one 11-year-old daughter and we didn't have that many visitors coming and visiting us. So this spare room that we wanted to keep nice and fancy all the time wasn't even being used that often anyway. Yet I'm paying insurance and utilities and everything else that goes with that square footage. And here I don't have to worry about that stuff. So if you're thinking about downsizing, give yourself grace and the time that you need. This isn't just about a real estate move. It's emotional transaction. All right, which brings us into mistake number 4, which is waiting too long to make the move. This is a tough one, and I see it far too often. People wait too long, and by the time that they're ready to sell, the house has fallen into disrepair. I've seen this in Sugar Mill, I've seen this in Edgewater, Ormond Beach, especially areas that the houses are a little bit older. Beautiful homes that set too long, roofs past their life, overgrown landscaping, deferred maintenance. These things are all really costly. And then what happens, and when it's finally time to sell, the investors swoop in with lowball offers, because they know that you're tired and you're ready to move on. And so you try to avoid these things, try to avoid waiting too long to make the move. So here's the truth. If you've been thinking about downsizing for more than a year, it's probably time to start planning. Okay. Don't wait until you're forced to move. Move while you still can choose. It brings us into mistake number 5, downsizing too much or not enough. Finding the right next home isn't about the number of bedrooms. It's about balance. I've had clients who are in 1,200 square foot condos only to call me a year later and say, Matt, this is too small. I miss having my art studio or extra space for visitors. We have a lot of people coming in. We need to sell and get something bigger. So let's be strategic and make the right decision and think about the future, not about right now. And then on the complete opposite side, I've had retirees like my client Tom, which I showed his house in Venetian Bay, his 3,600 square foot home. That's like, Matt, why the heck do I need this 3,600 square foot home? It's just me and my wife. I'm tired of the cleaning. I'm tired of the yard maintenance. I'm tired of the utility costs that come with it. So this works both ways. The key is imagining your future self. What do you look like in 5 years from now? What do you look like in 10 years from now? And what are you going to be doing with that time? And it's probably not going to be spending it in a lot of it inside the house. And it's probably not going to be doing yard work and maintenance. Now, some people like that stuff. I personally love to do landscaping and get out and make my yard look pretty. I did. I'm a manly guy, 6'2", 210 pounds, and I just said the word pretty. I didn't mean to though, but it's pretty for my wife. So again, it's thinking about the future. Will you want stairs in 5 to 10 years? Do you want to maintain a pool or a large yard in 5 to 10 years? Will your family really visit you as often as you think? They probably will. But do you know that they're going to? These are things to think. Sometimes the right answer isn't smaller, it's simpler. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get into mistake number 6, which is rushing the process and picking the wrong location. Now, this happens all the time, and it might be one of the most expensive mistakes of all. I've met people who rush into condo community because they love the idea of low maintenance, only to realize they don't like being told what color their door has to be, or where they can park their golf cart, or that they can't grill out on the balcony. Okay, others have bought into 55 plus community and realized that they miss seeing kids riding bikes down the street, or they miss trick-or-treaters. And some went the other way, buying a big private home only to feel isolated a year later. My advice, take your time. Let's visit different neighborhoods. Let's talk to the neighbors in those neighborhoods and talk to the locals and see what they like and what they don't like. Walk Flagler Avenue on a Tuesday morning, not just on the weekend. Visit Venetian Bay or Sugar Mill during the week. See what real life looks like. Make sure you're not buying the idea of retirement, but the reality that you'll be living every day. This is really, really important. In the end, this is about designing your next chapter. At the end of the day, successful downsizing or right sizing isn't about doing what everyone else is doing. It's about designing a life that fits your lifestyle, your pace, and your peace of mind. And that's where I come in. Listen, I get phone calls, emails, text messages, and invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to help you move to Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach, Ponce Inlet, New Smyrna Beach, of course, Port Orange, or Edgewater. And with honesty, strategy, and no pressure, I can have people that can vouch for me. I'd be happy to give you their names and number if they're okay with it, that have come down here, spent some time with me and said, you know what, at the end of the day, Matt, it's not the right move. But I am here to help. I am a local expert, and this is what I do for a full-time job. I'm not a weekend soccer mom that shows houses, here, there during the week. I'm not like the stat that just came out this year or just came out recently that so far in 2025, now you could be watching this at any point in time, but right now we're November 10th, 2025. Last Wednesday, this stat came out for the National Association of Realtors for the Florida Realtors, and Florida Realtors, 71% of Florida Realtors have sold 0 houses this year. If you have 0 experience in anything for an entire year, I'm sorry, but you're not that thing. Sorry, unless you're like a tennis player and you're injured on reserve or something like that, you're not that thing. So that might make some other real estate agents mad or some part-time agents mad, and I'm sorry. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make clients successful in their move to the beach. So call or text me anytime. Like I said, I get phone calls, emails, text messages, invites every day from people just like you. So whether it's 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to help you move to the beach. Again, my name is Matt Ecoff. I'm a local real estate expert. We'll see you next time.